Welcome to the training program of QLana, the digitization platform for SME lending. With this training, we will give you an overview about the basic functionalities of QLana and how they will be applied in your work to facilitate your day-to-day routines and to allow you to improve the management of your credit exposure in an advanced fashion. The training is built in modules. As you can see from this overview, we have split the training program into various small bites of instructions. You can watch them either sequentially, or you can pick the ones you are most interested in and need for your day-to-day work. Today we start with the QLana basics. Let's address the most important question first. What is QLana? QLana is a credit knowledge management tool which digitizes the complete lending process. It allows improved client selection, risk assessment, approval processing, and monitoring. In other words, QLana is the platform from which you will conduct all your lending activities going forward, and all the staff involved in the lending process will use QLana as well. Initially, QLana has implemented a complete replication of your existing credit workflow procedures. This means you generally do not have to adjust to new processes or procedures. You just follow the activities, but you will conduct them online. This covers all steps in the process from establishing the first contact with the client to the monitoring of a disbursed loan. When you open QLana, the application, you will see the menu on the left side. This menu has several categories which we would like to introduce in this session. The first is the dashboard. It provides an overview of the portfolio in your responsibility. It includes all transactions which are in the pipeline, going through the approval process, or are in the process of disbursement. You can see all the tasks that are associated with your day-to-day activities, the meetings, and the covenants. It will remind you of client visits and other activities that you have scheduled with your client. Next, we look at the contacts. Contacts are individuals connected to the bank either directly as borrowers or guarantors, or indirectly, for example, the borrower's spouse, the company's supplier, the company's clients. It also includes your colleagues as well as other individuals who are in contact with your institution. Companies are the business entities. They can operate as registered or unregistered companies. Any company information such as contact details, location, financials, products, or business history is tracked. QLana allows you to compare data across companies and monitor the development of the company over time. A project relates to the lending process. When you start a lending process, you will start a project. The project will guide you through the various steps of the process, including the approval requirements, the pre-disbursement checks, and other activities. It includes the monitoring and collection support. Any company or contact can have one or more projects in parallel. Collateral, as the name says, relates to security pledged for the repayment of the loan. This can be real estate, machinery, security, insurance policies, personal guarantees, or anything else. Facilities are the actual loan contract. In QLana, you can build these facilities early on in the process and complete the information as you move along. Once a project is approved by the necessary committees, the facility is also created in your core banking software and linked to the facility in QLana. A task is an assignment scheduled in the system. It comes with a due date and will remind you of the due date on the dashboard. Meetings can be held for any reason. It can be linked to a stage of the lending process. A meeting can include internal and external participants. You can add minutes and documents that are shared in the meeting. Covenants are certain conditions defined in advance that must be fulfilled by the borrower throughout the lending process. Those can be contractual covenants as they are defined in the loan contract, but also covenants related to your internal policies, for example, how frequently you have to visit the client for an update. In the risk reporting, QLana visualizes the risks identified in the transaction or the entire portfolio. Data can be analyzed in various dimensions, including, for example, by sector or by country. The other reports provide an overview of the portfolio for the user, including transactions in pipeline, approval process, disbursement, monitoring, financial tasks, meetings, and covenants. These reports can be very much configured for the requirements of the user. And finally, knowledge management is a forum to find any knowledge about the transactions or concepts in general, including the manuals, policies, procedures, certain videos about specific functionalities, such as this video, and other explanations about theoretical concepts and approaches used by the institution. One of the key benefits of QLana is the ability to link information within the system and thereby creating an own network of information. For example, QLana links the various categories, including companies and contacts. You can link companies by ownership, but you can also link companies within the network with other contacts companies based on family or business relationships. This can be relationships such as exporters, suppliers, clients, or even competitors. QLana builds up significant knowledge collected by yourself about how the clients in your business areas collaborate with each other. This will help you with the risk monitoring at a later stage. We also like to show you how QLana processes information. At the core of the loan application is a project. This project reflects the whole lending process and is associated with the borrower, for example, a company or a contact. You can also have multiple borrowers. In the same way, companies and contacts can have several projects. A project is linked to one or more facilities. These facilities are potentially secured by collateral or guarantees. And for each project, you can organize an unlimited amount of meetings or tasks that can relate to specific activities required, for example, to convene committee meetings. Finally, let's have a look at a sample workflow. QLana can be configured completely to the requirements within your institution. Each institution can have several workflows for several products. For example, you can differentiate between the lending to corporates, SMEs, microfinance, or private clients. On the screen, we have a sample workflow consisting of 5 major categories: the initial assessment, due diligence, pre-disbursement, monitoring, and special servicing. Within these categories, you can define multiple steps. In our case, during the initial assessment, the relationship manager starts a project and submits the information to the branch manager. The branch manager will review the application, makes comments, and either rejects the loan or submits it for the next step. A team assistant then dispatches the project to a list of credit analysts. The analyst analyzes the project and submits it to the head of credit, who in his turn then reviews the transaction, approves it, rejects it, or submits it to the relevant committees for approval. Once the transaction is approved, credit administration gets involved. It verifies the completeness of the documents, issues the contracts, and disburses the loan. The loan is then transferred to the monitoring process and, if necessary, to special servicing once a loan becomes non-performing. This is the first overview of QLana. Now you can go through the various other sections of this main menu to learn specific functionalities or other ways how to use QLana in your day-to-day work.